Alright, so I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about this 10-year-old girl having to cross state lines to get an abortion. Why? Because she was raped by a degenerate animal. I found this video snippet from Fox. Here, take a listen.
National attention since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, but is now under serious scrutiny. It's the horrific story of a 10-year-old rape victim who was allegedly forced to travel across state lines from Ohio to Indiana to obtain an abortion. It first appeared in the Indianapolis Star on July 1st, and it cites a single source, a doctor. Quote, Dr. Caitlin Bernard, an Indianapolis obstetrician gynecologist, took a call from a colleague, a child abuse doctor in Ohio. Now this doctor had a 10-year-old patient in the office who was 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant. Could Bernard help? Indiana lawmakers are poised to further restrict or ban abortion in mere weeks. But for now, the procedure still is legal here. And so the girl soon was on her way to Indiana to Bernard's care. Outrage quickly swept across media outlets.
It is hard to imagine anything more cruel, more disturbing than forcing a child, a 10-year-old still playing with fidget toys and tablets, to carry her father or her brother's child to term, or forcing her to travel across state lines for an abortion. And yet, here we are.
Ohio so the child will now have to travel to Indiana to get the procedure. And this case is putting the spotlight on America post Roe v. Wade.
A 10-year-old rape victim, that is a child.
Remember, this was based on a single source. Then President Biden, well, he pushed the story on Friday as he raged against Ohio's restrictive abortion law without seeking any evidence that the story was even true.
This isn't some imagined horror. It's already happening. Just last week, it was reported that a 10-year-old girl was a rape victim in Ohio. 10 years old. And she was forced to have to travel out of the state to Indiana to seek to terminate the presidency. Imagine being that little girl. I'm serious. Just imagine being that little girl, 10 years old.
Now, Ohio's Attorney General David Yost says that he hasn't heard a single thing about the case.
We have regular contact with prosecutors and local police and sheriffs. Not a whisper anywhere. My office runs the state crime lab. Any case like this, you're going to have a rape kit, you're going to have biological evidence, and you would be looking for DNA. There is no case request for analysis that looks anything like this.
So Kellyanne, the Washington Post fact checker, woke up from his slumber and decided to fact check this one. Under Ohio law, a physician, as a mandated reporter under Ohio Revised Code 2151421, would be required to report any known case of suspected physical, sexual, or emotional abuse or neglect of a child. They contacted child service agencies across Ohio. Nothing. Attorney General, you just heard him. Nothing.
Well, I certainly hope it's not true, because the idea that it is so horrifying to each and every one of us. I think that's completely nonpartisan, Kayleigh. At the same time, this woman, this one doctor who is kind of like an abortion pundit, you know, she's always available for a quote, for an appearance. I don't know when she has time to do these abortions, but she has gone dark. We haven't heard from her. And if she's a single source, we all demand answers. And there's no question that immediately we all thought about the 10-year-old.
So I have a few questions here. One, this Attorney General says he didn't hear anything about it. And the media says it happened. And even the president says it happened. But this guy said he didn't hear anything about it. So who's telling the truth? What I find strange, Roe v. Wade gets overturned, and then they bring up this case, the media, the president, and yet this Attorney General didn't hear anything about it. How could that happen? Another question, the president and a lot of these left-wing media, they seem more concerned that the child had to go across state lines to get an abortion. Me, I'd be more concerned about the fact that a 10-year-old girl was raped. Now, I found this article on the Gateway Pundit. Liberals have been gloating and attacking Republicans after the story of a 10-year-old girl in Ohio being raped was confirmed to be true by prosecutors who charged an illegal alien with GRAPE in the case that drew national attention after an Indiana abortion activist claimed without evidence the girl had to leave Ohio for Indiana to get an abortion. The claim was made weeks after the Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade. So after I read this article, I wondered to myself, is that why the media and the president didn't talk about the perpetrator? Because he's an illegal immigrant. Also, he's not white. And furthermore, he's more worried about the abortion law, not the actual crime that was committed on the 10-year-old girl. And now she's going to have mental trauma for the rest of her life. And when I read this story, it could have easily been prevented because illegal immigrants shouldn't be in the States in the first place. They broke the law entering the country illegally. Trump spends so much time trying to build a wall and tried to curtail all the illegal immigration. Then Biden comes in and he literally tears it down. So, in my opinion, it sounds like the media's all bleeding heart, the president's all bleeding heart, but if you really cared, you would have curtailed illegal immigration. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen to this illegal alien. Part of me wants to say he's just going to be deported back to Guatemala or wherever, but the other part of me thinks that he's going to get sent to prison. Because I've heard stories about people coming from third world countries where they can barely get one meal of food. They go to a Western country, they commit a murder or a rape, they get sent to prison, and then they get 3 square meals a day. They get a bed, a roof over their head, they get dental, they get health care, they get TV and internet access. So in summary, I said it in the beginning, but I'll say it again. You can call me racist if you want, but degenerate animals should be put down. That's it for my ramble. Take care.